What's up guys, Chief here from Chief Live Gaming. Today we are going to talk about the Temple of Elemental Evil board game again, and this is one of the 4 currently released board games in the D&D Adventure system. So if you guys are trying to learn more about a different D&D board game like Wrath of Asharadalon or Legend of Drizzt, this will be applicable for you guys. They're all pretty similar. The only difference between the games are basically just the theme, the monsters, the heroes, and a couple different rules, but for the most part they're really similar, and you can actually interchange them all. So if you do want to play with heroes from one box to another box, you can do that. There may be some balancing issues, but for the most part it's going to work out for you. So if you guys are here to learn more about this series and kind of see how it plays, this is going to be the video for you. So to start off with, I figured we would just kind of play like a solo sort of situation. I'll just go through a couple of turns with you guys, make 3 or 4 turns, and kind of start off describing different things and then kind of speeding it up and making little faster moves through the turns so you guys can kind of get a feel for the game. So we're going to be playing Oleros, the human fighter, and what we'll do is I'm going to take pictures of not only the player card here, but all of his abilities. So you start out with 5 abilities, and these are just the suggested abilities to start with from the adventure guide. So I'm using those. I'm not making any selections that are different. So these are just the base powers. And so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time to read these. I'll give you individual pictures. If we're going through too fast in the video, feel free to stop, hit pause, so you can read the whole card if you'd like to. So let's take a look at those now. Alright, so those are the powers we're going to be running with, and Oleros is a fighter, so he's pretty strong. He's got 17 AC and 10 hit points, which is pretty high relative to the other heroes, so we should be pretty safe, but let's find out. So what we're going to be doing is using the sequence of play card, and I'll give you guys another close-up on that. There's a hero phase. There's basically 3 phases to this game that will cover a player's turn. So I'm going to be representing Oleros here, and if we had another player, maybe they were playing like a wizard or something like that, I would start out by going through the 3 phases, which are the hero phase, exploration phase, and the villain phase, and then the turn would pass to the next person, and they would do those 3 phases, and so it kind of evens out where everybody plays a character. They get to roll for a couple monster attacks, and it's kind of fun. So you'll see how that works. So basically, let's just get right into it. To start off with our hero phase, it says for step 1, if you have 0 hit points, use a healing surge. But we are not at 0 hit points. We are in fact at 10, so that's a good start. So we're not going to worry about that. We're going to move into the next thing, which is performing our 2 actions, which are, 1 has to be a movement. Well, you don't have to move, but your action must be a move and one of the listed actions. So you can move twice, you can move an attack, move and disable a trap, or move and other, which would be something we're not going to worry about right now. So for now, what we're going to do is move for our first action and disable a trap for our second action. So what we're going to do is we're going to move right here, from here to here, diagonally. You can move diagonally, so that's 1. Our movement speed is designated by our speed. The amount of squares we can move is designated by our speed. So we had 6. Now we're going to use our second action to disable the trap. So what we need to do is roll a d20, and we rolled a 2. A 2. So that would mean that the trap goes off. We're trying to disable it. We rolled, if we would roll a 10 or higher, we would disable the trap. But we did not, so let's see what happens. So to do that, we just flip it over. Oh boy. And that is an arrow trap that does 2 damage to our characters. So we're just going to take 2 hit points, flip them over to know that we've taken 2 damage. And that's the end of our hero phase. Not a very good start. Not a very good start. So now we're going to move on to the exploration phase. And the goal of the game is to kind of get to the edge of tiles here, which as you can see there's kind of a connecting, it ends here and wants you to keep going. So what that means is you're on an unexplored edge of the map. So if we look at our exploration phase, if your hero occupies a square adjacent to an unexplored edge, go to step 2. So we are. So we're going to go to step 2. draw a dungeon tile and place it with its triangle adjacent to the unexplored edge. And what that means is every dungeon tile has a little triangle. It's either going to be black or white, and you just connect it to where you're exploring. So there we go. We've done that. Now we're going to draw any monster cards and place any trap tokens and monster figures. So since we drew this tile, you saw that the little circle denoting where the monster would spawn. We're going to draw a monster card, and we're going to place a fire bat. So we find the figure, put it here, not going to worry anything else about the monster quite yet. Now, that's it for the exploration phase. Now into the villain phase. It says, if you didn't place a dial during your exploration phase, or if you placed a tile with a black triangle, draw an encounter card. So, we placed a tile and it had a black triangle. So that would mean that we have to place an encounter card. Let me, oh boy. Let me respond to this text. First world problems. Alright, here we go. Back to the game. Ruining my immersion. Here we go. We're going to draw an encounter card because there's a black arrow here. And the event card is Dark Gift. A mysterious benefactor is willing to aid you for a price. Choose A or B. Your hero takes 1 damage, or draw a card from the treasure deck and choose another hero to take 2 damage. Well, there's only one of us, so we're going to pretty clearly take 1 damage from that encounter card, and then just go ahead and discard it. So, now, the last step of the villain phase, well, actually, step 2 would be play a villain, which would be like a boss monster, but there's no villains right now, so we're going to skip that step. Go to step 3, activate each monster you control in turn in the order you drew them. So we have 1 monster, and it's the fire bat. So to activate monsters is pretty simple. You just take a look at the card and read what it says. Follow the instructions right on the card. So it says, if the fire bat is within 2 tiles of a hero, which it is, a tile is again one of these. You can't count diagonally, so he's within 2 tiles because he's 1 tile away. It moves adjacent to the closest hero and attacks that hero with a fiery bite. Okay, here it goes. Its attack is a +5 modifier, so we're going to roll a d20 and add 5. So we roll the 5 modifier, 5 plus 5 is 10. Our AC is 17 on our human fighter. So 10 is less than 17, so it doesn't hit us. Pretty simple. That's how the whole game works, is based around that simple concept. You have to roll, if he was attacking me and wanted to hit me, he would need to roll my armor class or higher. So he would need to get a total of 17 or higher, and then he would do the 1 damage listed. But he didn't, so easy enough. His turn's over. Now, like I said, that finishes one, I guess, a round of play. So if there were other players playing right now, other characters, the turn would pass over to them and they would continue to go through their 3 steps, and then it would go around the table in turn. But since we're playing a solo adventure, we're going to start over again right with the hero phase. So I think a good idea would be to attack this bat, try to get it out of the way. So we're going to use Battle Axe. Attack 1 adjacent monster. After the attack, your hero may move up to 2 spaces. Let's do that. 17, alright, nice. 17 plus 6 is 23, well enough over the 14 to hit the fire bat, and it's dead. So we kill it. Boom. It only has 1 HP, and we did 1 damage, so it's done. Now, we put this card into an XP pile. As at the bottom of the card, it's listed that it gives you 1 experience. So that's great. We have 1 experience ready. Not really going to worry about that right now, what that means, but just keep it in mind for later. So, since we've killed the monster, we get to draw a treasure card, which is really exciting. Fortune Bag of Silver. This bag of silver dust is an important ingredient in the ritual for blessing holy water. Play immediately, gain 200 gold pieces. So we have little gold pieces here. And the gold will just, I put it on my character card, you can set it aside. But basically it's used for buying things in between adventures in a campaign setting. Pretty cool, but not going to worry again about it now. So that would be our first action in our hero phase. So for the second action, we're going to move. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Just to get to an unexplored edge. I'll move this down a little. And then we're going to move into the exploration phase. Draw another tile. Alright, here we go. So there's no monsters this time, but there are traps. So I'm going to place 2 traps on these tiles. And since we drew a black arrow, we have to do an encounter card. Hidden Cache. As thanks for saving him, my chassis reveals location of a secret treasure. This card isn't really supposed to be in here, but that's okay. Your hero gains 200 gold pieces. Draw another encounter card. Cool. So we'll gain the 200 gold. We're up to 400. We'll draw another encounter card. Here we go. Choking Ash. A cloud of smoke and embers fills the air, making it impossible to breathe. Attack your hero. So here we go. +7. 2 + 7 is 9. We have 17. It misses. Great. Now the second part says choose a monster on your hero's tile. That monster activates. Well, there's no monsters on our tile, so we don't have to worry about that. Excellent. Good start. So the exploration phase is over. What else would be left? We would need to activate villains and monsters, but there are none in play, so we'll just right back again to our hero phase. So just like the first turn, let's go ahead and move and try to disable that trap. So we can move diagonally. We're going to go 1, 2, roll again for the trap. Excellent, 19. So we disabled the trap. It was clear. That's great. We were safe anyway. So end of our hero phase. That was our 2 actions. We're going to go into exploration, draw another tile. Oh boy, 2 rows of traps. So what I'm thinking here now is that I kind of just want to turn around. I don't want to have to go through, use all those actions, or possibly take all the damage from going through all those traps. And similarly, black arrow, another encounter. Event, sniper shots. The cultists of air fancy themselves marksmen. Attack each hero. Ooh, that's kind of bad. +6 modifier. Oh boy, let's just replace that. 7 + 6 is 13. Doesn't hit us, so a miss still does 1 damage, so we're going to take the 1. Again, no villains or monsters. And we're back to our hero phase. Again, guys, we're just going to go through this pretty quick. We'll probably do like 1 more turn. So let's double. Again, like I said, we have 2 actions. So the first move action, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let's double move and just risk going over one of these traps so we can still explore. So we get our second action for another movement, 1, 2. We don't have another action free to disable this trap, so we have to detonate it. Let's see what happens. Oh boy, arrow trap, 2 damage. 2 damage. So let's take off another 2. So we'll have 4 total HP left. Moving into our exploration phase, we'll place another tile. Oh god. Care. Scary 3 monsters. So what we do here, there's 3 tiles denoting, or 3 squares denoting monsters, so we'll place those. The first one's going to be a troglodyte. Put him here. Second one, Null Archer. Let's put him, I don't know, on the back-ish. The third one is going to be an Earth Cultist. So, Earth Cultist will go right there. So, we drew a white arrow this time, so we skip drawing the encounter card, which is always really nice. And now we move into the villain phase part, the monsters. And we have to play them and activate them in the order we drew them. So we'll start with the troglodyte, and again, you just follow the instructions. So it looks like he'll end up moving in adjacent and trying to attack me. He has a +5 modifier. 24, that'll do 1 damage. So we take 1 off. Pretty simple. Now we'll move on to the Null Archer. So it looks like he's just going to shoot me with his arrow at a +7. Oh, cocked eye. Let's reroll that. 6 + 7, 13. That'll miss. The 1 damage will miss. And now the Earth Cultist again will move in adjacent and try to attack me. Monsters do not activate traps. So here we go. +7. 7 + 4 is 11. Does not do enough damage. So that'll end the monsters phase. We're back to our hero phase again. Great. So we're going to just end this real quick. Try to do some fanciness here. So let's do some cool abilities. Now, anytime you use a utility or daily power, utility powers do not cost an action. They're free actions. So it says, choose up to 3 monsters within 1 tile of your hero and place them adjacent to your hero. So we're going to do that. These 2 are already adjacent, but we're just going to yank this guy and taunt him over behind us. That'll be a really good way to set up for our sweeping attack, our daily power. Attack each adjacent monster. 1 hero on your hero's tile gains advantage. So We're the only hero on our tile. We gain advantage. We just denote that by putting the marker here. And that means for our first attack, we get 2 rolls and we'll take the highest of the 2 die. So we basically get a second chance at our attack. This is a +8, so we have to attack each adjacent monster, and to do that, we just roll separately for each monster. So let's start with the Earth Cultist. Let's start with the Earth Cultist. We'll get advantage, so our first roll is a 20. Oh, we don't even need the advantage. We don't even need the advantage, so that's gone. We crit him. In this game, when you roll a natural 20, that's a crit and it does an extra damage. So that was well enough to beat his 16 AC. He has 2 health. Our attack does 2 damage and he's removed. So that was actually really lucky. He goes in the experience pile and we draw a treasure. Pouch of copper. That's a heavy pouch. Play immediately, gain 100 gold pieces. Cool. So we're at 500. 500 gold. Now, next, remember we get to attack each adjacent monster. So let's go to the archer now. Remember our advantage is gone. Oh, we rolled a 2, so that one's going to miss, but the miss still does 1 damage. The miss still does 1 damage. So if I can find here, where are they? Monster damage, come to me. Monster damage. We'll put this here to denote that he has 1 damage. Now, last we'll attack the troglodyte. That'll hit. Great, so he's gone also. We'll move him, put him in the XP pile. And we do not get to draw another treasure. Even though we killed a monster, you can only draw 1 treasure per round. And remember that this was used, so we flip this over. We still have our remaining move action. So I don't know if I want to move or not. I think I'll just probably stay right here. I could move to explore again, but I kind of want to finish this off and kind of just see what happens. So back to our sequence of play. Exploration phase. Draw a dungeon tile, blah, 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 blah. Villain phase, I guess we don't have to do anything there. So since we didn't explore and place a new tile, we have to draw an encounter. Here we go. Hidden traps. Place new trap tokens on the unexplored edge that is closest to your hero. So I guess that would be this edge. Interesting. Kind of cheated a little there, but since it's the end of the video, it doesn't matter. So there's 4 traps. Discard after playing. Monsters activate. So he's going to try to shoot me again with another arrow. 5 + 7, not enough. So we don't take any damage. That's the end of the phase, guys, and I think that's also going to be the end of the video. So this again, guys, just a really quick overview. I hope it wasn't too fast or too confusing. But what I thought I would do is just go through for you guys and give you a real quick rundown of the turns. If you do want to see more heroes in this kind of scenario where we just run through real quick and kind of give you an idea of how the different heroes play, let me know. We can do that very easily. And otherwise, guys, look forward to more videos from this game series. I'll talk a lot more about this kind of stuff. If you like it, definitely hit subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Helps me out a lot. If you feel like donating directly to me to help support this channel, I have a link in the description to my Patreon page. That's a great place to do that. Don't feel obligated, guys. Just do it if you want. Any donations help. Otherwise, have a great day, guys. A big thanks to my executive producers for helping me out. And I hope to see you guys next time. Bye, guys.